Alright guys, hello and welcome back to another draft analysis. I'm Ace and right now we're into game 2 of Team Liquid vs Immortals. Something happened to my video for game 1, so too bad there's no game 1, sorry about it. Alright, so let's move on to game 2. Team Liquid banned away Night Stalker, Wyvern as well as Bane. Bane seems to be a very first pick priority hero right now because before at 7.6 is really strong already. It's like people are starting to pick it up more as a position 5, and then now there's the patch change where he can right click people through Nightmare. So yeah, it's kind of a small buff, but people are actually prioritizing this hero a lot more now.
5 seconds.
Winter Wyvern is one of the position 5 hero that Immortals really like to play on Dubu. And Night Stalker, yeah, it's just Fabi's go-to. I'm very surprised that IO is completely left untouched in this game. And as in terms of the ban, the 6 bans. In game 1, Immortals had the first pick. Sorry, Liquid had the first pick and Immortals were forced to ban the IO. But this game, even Immortals with the first pick, they didn't go for it. They went for the Veno and left the IO in the pool. So now both teams just don't want the IO. Maybe they are waiting for a later time to pick it. Anyway, Immortals, they ban away Daxia, Kotal as well as Prophet. The Daxia is the ban that stands out to me. The other two is pretty straightforward against a team like Liquid. I guess it's just targeted ban towards Mind Control's Daxia. Moving on, Venomancer was picked up by Immortals as I mentioned. It's a very strong first pick right now, even though they nerfed it a bit. But still, before 7.07 gets figured out, this is gonna be one of the top picks still. And Liquid, they go straight for the first pick, Viper and Rubik. I'm very surprised about Viper here. And then Immortals go for the Lich. So I guess Liquid figures something about the new Viper with the new Nether Toxin spell. It's a AoE, and the last game I think Matumberman, he went for the Veil to pair up with his all his other spells, the Nether Toxin AoE as well as his Viper Strike. So this might be something that Liquid has figured out, and maybe it feels like this is gonna be the next like Imba hero maybe, and they are just trying to play around with it right now on the Viper. Immortals, they went for the Lich, a very strong position 5 hero. Even there's not much nerfs to it, but yeah, so both teams are still playing around the old version apart from the Viper first pick. The Rubik is pretty standard from Liquid, and yeah, GH played really well last game as well. Liquid banned the Spirit Breaker, a very common Fabi hero. And I still feel IO is in the pool, and Immortals, either team can actually pick it up right now. I'm leaning it towards Immortals picking it up. I just feel they pair it together with Fabi, pair it together with Kyo really well, and Fabi's hero is not picked yet as well. That's also one of the reasons why they didn't pick any of Fabi's hero in the first phase. They want to have the potential and there's a possibility that they can still go for the IO. Liquid banned away the Bloodseeker as well, same as game 1 where they target towards Kyo's Bloodseeker. Immortals, they banned the Brewmaster, a hero that Mind Control played really well last game, as well as the Anti-Mage. Immortals banned the Anti-Mage in game 1 as well, and I think they're just afraid of Miracle's AM going into the late game. Especially with the buff where he has the talent that gives him illusion every time he blinks. I think that's pretty strong in my opinion. It's really very irritating to play against Anti-Mage, and now he has that additional talent. And Split Push, it seems to be more likely to appear in this patch, as we can see in the game 1 of the first series between Newbie as well as SG Sports. The Newbie actually split push extremely well. It could be because the SG Sports didn't have a lot of catch on their heroes, so Newbie could have gotten away with the split push, but still maybe they're just afraid of Anti-Mage. Okay, they'll go for the Earth Spirit, so it means it's gonna be Kuroki's Rubik and GH Earth Spirit, I believe. That's the good thing about Liquid, picking up Rubik early. They can always switch it up between the two supports, as both of them are very good players on their hero. Instead, Immortals, they decided not to go for the IO, thinking that maybe they just feel that both teams know how to play IO extremely well, so if you know how to play a hero well, you tend to know how to counter it as well. So they're just afraid to go on with the IO pick. Immortals, they pick up the Bounty Hunter for Fabi, and it's a very classic Immortal style. That being said, they do play it on 4F as well on the offlane position back in the last patch, but I'm not sure if they're still going to do it now in this patch. It might be one of their go-to, and usually if they pick it for 4F, they usually do it as their last pick. So I'm more certain that this is going to be a Fabi's Bounty Hunter actually.
Dire team pick.
Puck!
Liquid goes back for the Puck, and this is going to be Mind Control's Puck. With Matumberman on Viper, Liquid will definitely pick a very late game oriented hero for Miracle. And yeah, so this Puck is definitely going to be an offlane Puck.
Remaining.
Currently Immortals have 0 lockdown, they have no stuns, so Puck is going to be very elusive.
Team Liquid's turn to ban.
And Immortals, they go for the Terror Blade. Yet again, Immortals lineup have 0 lockdown. They have no stuns. They only have slows from Lich. All their heroes have slows, but not a single stun. The only mini stun they have is Bounty Hunter's Toss.
10 seconds remaining.
That being said, Liquid's lineup doesn't have the answer to do with the Terror Blade yet, but they still have a last pick for Miracle. And I won't be surprised if they go something for like his Invoker. It's really strong in the current meta, and it's very good at kiting Terror Blade. Like, if with all your arsenal of spells, it might not be the best. They might go for a safer option, something to be able to do with this Terror Blade. Sylvan would be good, I would say. Sylvan, Juggernaut. This Terror Blade is definitely going to be QoS hero. The Venom could still be MP or 4F, so yeah, Immortals, they definitely need some kind of lockdown, some kind of team fight hero. They have 0 of that right now. Nothing to catch people. They could just make use of the Bounty Hunters, track, increase move speed, but then again, they have nothing to kill this Puck. They have no lockdown at all. Okay, moving on to the last ban, Liquid. They're probably going to target... I would say it's more likely this Veno is going to the safe lane, since they need some kind of teamfight heroes for the last pick, and it's more likely that the offlane plays a part of the team fighting role. Or even if the Bounty Hunter is 4F playing it, then they can actually pick a more, like maybe Slada, something like that for Fabi. Or something like the Centaur we saw last game. Will they go back for it? The 4F Centaur?
Dire team ban.
Instead, Liquid ban away the Death Prophet. Okay, so they're expecting an offlane Veno, and they're afraid of a Death Prophet in the sense that the silence will be something to do with Puck, but he can always get a yield, so I'm not sure why they're afraid of this DP as well.
Remaining.
It's probably one of the laners, strong laners that can match up against a Viper,
remaining.
and so that's probably one of their concerns, that's all. They're just removing a lane matchup to the
Dire
Viper.
team pick.
And Immortals, knowing that
Team
Liquid needs a late
Liquid's
game hero, they
turn
ban
to
away the
pick.
Spectre. Okay, so they go for the Vengeful. It's not really a team fighting hero, but it provides some sort of lockdown on the Vengeful stun. It's not the best, but at least it's something. They still don't have a catch for the Puck though. That's one of my worry. But their laning stage is going to be very strong. It's going to be a mid Terror Blade, it looks like.
5 seconds remaining.
So they're sending mid Terror Blade against the Viper.
Slog.
And
Now
Vengeful safe
select
lane
your
and Venom
heroes.
off lane. Okay, and they go for the Miracle Slug. Slug is a hero we haven't been seeing a lot. It's not the best against Terror Blade, especially now they have a Vengeful Spirit stun. Like, even if they lock down the Terror Blade, VS can always swap him out, and then TB can just get his Sunder out. But Slug is a very slippery hero, so Immortals has a lack of lockdown, as I mentioned again and again. So Slug can actually go ham in this game. There's nothing to lock him down. Every time he feels in danger, he just pops his ultimate and he can either get out or continue doing damage. I'm a bit fearful for Immortals on their lack of lockdown, but if they can play the Immortals aggression style and go ham in the early game with their Bounty Hunter as well as Vengeful carry, they might stand a chance. The only worry I have for them is every time I see them play this offlane Venomancer, they don't involve him in the early game, but he's so strong. Like, they should fight as 4 men and let the Terror Blade farm. So I'm worried that this Venomancer will turn out to be a farming one and they end up cannot play the aggressive game that they would like to. Overall, I think this Pup and Miracle slug is going to be going to be very hard for Immortals to punish them, and I'm still going to favor Liquid.
Prepare for battle.
But if Immortals can somehow play the game that they like most on terms of their aggressive style, then maybe they have a chance. Anyway, just a small note, Dubu is the one playing the Bounty Hunter and Fabi on the leash. I'm not sure why they switch it up. Maybe Dubu is more of the bounty player. But I don't think so, right? I remember Fabi playing the bounty before. That's so weird. Regardless, that's all for Game 2's draft analysis. I hope you guys like it, and leave a comment below if you have something to say about the draft or the game in general. Yeah, thanks for watching guys.